I do something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's Saturday morning. How's everybody doing out there? It's the first of the month. I know y'all out there cashing them checks. Holiday weekend, doing y'all thing. Appreciate each and every one of y'all showing up to the side, Jawn, this morning. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
What's up, Dennis? I guess you fresh off of jet setting across the nation, huh?
Yeah.
World traveler. That's what I'm gonna call you.
I ain't do the whole world yet, but I'm gonna get to all the continents. That's gonna be the goal. I'm gonna get to all the continents. That is definitely gonna be the goal. But as you know, we here each and every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be home safe. Cause maybe y'all know, y'all don't know, but Sam Sports Multimedia Network, we was down in LA this weekend at the BET Awards. One thing I could definitely say, we got down there, we had a good time. It started off a little shaky, met up with, with the Feel Me Naked Network. Started off a little shaky, but one thing I did learn from June, BJ, and Carl the Tyner, when the road gets tough, we're gonna do what we need to do to make things happen. It's one thing I did learn. So, and definitely want to give a shout out to June for getting that hookup that we needed with Dame from BET. Shout out to Dame from BET. And listen, we went down and we had a ball though, Sharon. That was a great time.
That's good.
We definitely gonna be going.
You gotta back the train up. You gotta back the train up for just a second, because I heard the word naked somewhere in your little speech there.
Oh yeah, Feel Me Naked Network.
What is that?
That's somebody else's network that was they were trying to make themselves. You know, I always got a saying, Sharon. I always got a saying. It's two types of people in the world. There's talkers and there's doers. Two types of people. Well, the Feel Me Naked Network tried to make himself seem like, he was all this and all that. You know what I mean? And we're supposed to be going to this party. Kanye West had a party. I'll tell you like that. Kanye West had a party at this place in LA. It's downtown LA. Downtown LA. This is where he recorded Late Registration, which is his second album.
Okay.
So he was having a party there. Now, I don't even know if Kanye West was there. Let me just get that out of the way. But the party started off free. So we get there, we calling him to see if he was coming. So he said he coming. So he says, yeah, I'm going, but I'm not waiting in that line. You see that line out there? Mind you, line around the corner. He said, I'm not waiting in that line. I'm getting in. We about to get in VIP. Me?
VIP.
Me? You gonna talk big boy shit? I need to see it. So I skipped the whole fucking line. I skipped the whole line. I moved through all the crowd and everything. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Thank you. How you doing? All right. I'm just trying to get by. Went through the whole line. I'm getting him 6 feet away from the door. Because I need to see if you are who you say you are.
Right.
I get him 6 feet away from the door. I said, how much closer you need to get? They said, no, I'm good right here. I'm going to call my man and see so he can come out. I know right then and there. You calling somebody in a loud club, ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. Calling my man.
I'm gonna call my
man. Okay, my man.
We sat out there for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And after that, we just walked off. It was like, all right, we'll be out. I was
out.
So shout out to the Feel Me Naked Network.
What a name. That's all I'm gonna say.
For trying to be something that you're not. That's definitely what I'm gonna say.
Trying to what?
Trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Right.
We don't have time for that. We're professionals around these parts.
It's great. You don't have to. For people out there who want to be, who want to be important, want to be better than what you are, you being yourself is enough.
That's it.
If you don't, listen, honesty is the best policy. And I know a lot of y'all like, no, that's a lie. Listen, if you can't get to those certain places, then just say, hey, listen, this club right here is free before 10. I'm trying to hit this joint before 10 because I ain't got the money like that to be paying for no VIP.
Mm-hmm.
And the VIP prices was crazy, Sharon. Like it started off. It was free. The next thing you know, they was like, it's $100 a person. Mind you, we still waiting for him to call his man and all this time. The next thing you know, they said, we only got table service. It's $500 for a table, plus you got to buy a bottle, and you got to pay taxes and tip your server.
Shut the front door.
That's what he said. That's what the man said. I made sure I listened to all this because I'm in LA. It's my first time in LA. I need to hear this. I knew I wasn't going in once he said that. But again, this is, people want to play like they are bigger than who they are. People want to play that on social media. I'm this guy. In real life, I'm this guy. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you guys made it there and back safely. I'm glad that y'all had a good time.
Speaking of safety, let me get that out the way. Making it there, I was a little nervous because, you know me, I fly Spirit. So I flew Spirit there. And the turbulence and everything was a little bit too much for me. I was like, this plane's shaking like a stripper. This is a little bit too much for me.
Shaking like a stripper. Okay.
Shaking like a stripper. Yeah, like a Polaroid picture, if you want me to be politically correct. But
shake it like a Polaroid picture.
I mean, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is too much for me. I don't know who Facebook is.
This was on what airline?
This was Spirit. Spirit was the shake. But I got there cool. Everything was good. Like I said, I had a good time. Now we going back. Night's over. BET Awards is over. We done left. We done ate. Packed all our stuff. Now we going back. Going back. And I said, I'm going to fly United with June, and I'm going to go land in Jersey, take the train home to Philly.
Gotcha.
That was the plan. I said, this sounds like a good plan.
Uh-huh.
What I'm going to do. I'm like, all right, what's we going to do? We're going to do. All right. Get on the plane. We get there on time. We land on time at 8 o'clock. Next thing you know, the pilot comes on and says, there's nowhere for the plane to park at because all the planes have taken up the terminals. So we have to sit here and wait. Now me thinking, I'm like, all right, it's going to be about 20 minutes. We waited in there for 2 hours.
What?
We waited for 2 hours to get to a terminal. We just on the plane. We landed safe, but we just sitting in the plane for 2 hours waiting to get to a terminal. Then we
You
got
sitting
to a
on the
terminal.
tarmac for 2 hours waiting to even drive up to the oh wow, to the gate.
Yep.
Wow.
Then we get
Damn.
off the plane. We get off the plane. I'm thinking everything cool. Time to get my luggage. Because why? I'm flying United. First time me flying United, I want to do the right thing. I paid to get my luggage, sent the right way. That's what I did. So I'm gonna do the right thing. All right.
Oh, so you checked your luggage for the first time.
Check my luggage first. That's what it's called. Check my luggage first. Thought I was doing the right thing. We get there. We had to wait another 2 hours for luggage.
Shut
After
up.
the 2 hour wait, half the plane, including myself, did not get our luggage.
So it's midnight and no plane. No, this is in the evening, right?
Yeah, it's midnight. It's midnight.
So this is midnight and you still don't have no luggage after being
Yeah,
2 hours on the tarmac and 2 hours waiting on luggage you never got.
Never got it. So then they said, call these numbers, they'll mail it to you. It is Saturday morning. I still don't have my luggage.
What? What day was that?
That was Monday.
Shut up.
That was Monday. Saturday morning, I still don't have my luggage.
That don't make no sense, dog. And this is United?
This is United.
It's not Spirit,
Spirit.
Southwest. What's the other one? What's the other one besides Spirit? They used to go. Oh, Janky Airline. What was it called? Blue.
Frontier,
JetBlue, something.
JetBlue.
None of that. It's United.
This ain't Delta. Nope. This is United.
Wow. Dang. And see, I'm supposed to fly in August. You making me nervous.
Yeah, but you probably see, and I keep a little suitcase. So, and matter of fact, I just got another little suitcase. I keep a little suitcase, so I should have never checked my suitcase in. But I always, I always be like, yeah, I'm gonna take my suitcase, but I ain't gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that. Like that's always my thing. I ain't paying to check my suitcase in. This time I said, no, I'm gonna pay for it because it's my first time on United, and I don't know how they act. I don't want them to be sitting there like, oh no, you ain't pay for your, check your suitcase in. Now you're gonna have to pay a higher prices. You ain't pay for it at the gate when it was $35. So to pay for what I paid, you probably gonna have to pay $55. I'm like, no, I don't want to do nothing like that. So.
Well, hopefully you'll get your luggage before Monday.
Hopefully, they said it should be here within the next day. That's what they said. They told me that Friday that it'd take 2 days, so we'll see. Good thing I ain't had nothing super important in there.
Yeah.
Which I always say, I always got my book bag, and they'd be like, well, why you got your book bag in your luggage? I said, I keep my underwear and a pair of sweatpants and some t-shirts in my luggage. I mean, in my book bag. And in my luggage, I got my pants and my shirts and all that stuff in there.
That makes sense.
And I always say, just in case they lose my luggage.
Well, it makes sense. It does make sense. You that's good thinking. At least you were thinking when you're traveling. You're not just out there. Yeah. Well, all right.
Always trying to think ahead, think positive.
But like I said, I'm sure it was still an honor just to be able to go out there. So shout out. I'm proud of you and the Sam Sports Metro Media Network and everybody for being at the BET Awards and getting that opportunity to network and stuff and get your name out there. That's important.
That definitely is important.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely is important. Definitely met some good people. So awesome. I'm happy for that. Shout out to Smoke Champs. Let me say this. Shout out to Smoke Champs.
Smoke Champs, yeah. I didn't know about them until you told me.
Yes. All right. Well, listen. I got a new job at an establishment. I'm not gonna say the establishment's name. I'm not gonna say none of that. But I'm in training to be a manager. Let me just
Oh,
say that. All right. So
excuse me.
that on this particular, they put you in different areas on different weeks because they want you to be strong in those areas for about a week. Then they move you on to something else. Right. That's usually what they do. So on this particular time, I'm up there and I'm working, the front of the house cashier. That's what I'm working. This
Mhm.
lady comes in. She comes in and she says that she has a delivery to pick up. Uh, her name is Honey Boo Boo. All right. So Honey Boo Boo comes in and she says, "Yeah, I just want to know is my order there?" And I'm like, "No, we don't have no order here at all for Honey Boo Boo." So now I'm checking the whole register for the whole day to see if anybody named Honey Boo Boo ordered anything.
Mhm.
And then she mentioned the manager's name. And I'm like, "We don't even have a manager that worked here with that name." I'm like, "Where did you call up and order?" Then I hear her daughter say, "You stupid. Yes, they are not black. Get that out the way. They are not black. Get that out the way." So as her daughter says that, I heard it, but I didn't really take it in the full concept because I'm still trying to find this lady's order. So I tell the lady, I said, "Listen, whatever store you call them up and find out what store that is and what did you order." And then she's running around. She's like, "Oh, I gotta get this food for my son and the kids because my son is autistic." And I think, when she said her son was autistic, I kind of took that to heart. My daughter's autistic. So I
Mhm.
know how it is when they don't eat at a certain time. So I'm sitting and I'm trying to help her out as much as possible now. Now I'm all in. I'm trying to help her out as much as possible. I'm all in there.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, she comes in, she tries to give me the phone from whoever she called named Jen that was a manager and tried to tell them to tell me what the order is so it could just be switched over. And the lady Jen ended up hanging up. I don't know what happened. I couldn't explain. I don't know what happened at the time, but it just hung up. Phone hung up. So after I told the lady, what I mean, now she's all ecstatic and everything. I said, "All right, well, what did you order?" And she said, "Well, I ordered you know, five. No, she said I ordered 8 tenders and 4 chicken sandwiches." I said, "Oh, all right, okay. Um, let's put you in for 8 tenders and 4 chicken sandwiches here, and you can pay for it here. It'll be ready in 20-25 minutes."
Uh-huh.
She said, "Okay, I can wait 20-25 minutes." So then she goes and she says, "No, I have 8 orders of chicken tenders." I said, hold. 8 orders of chicken tenders.
Wow.
Mind you, chicken tenders come 5 an order. So that's 40 pieces of chicken. But now I'm running to the back to go talk to the cook. I said, "Oh, we got 40 pieces of chicken tenders back here to start out, like ready." They like, "No, I don't think we got it. I don't think we got it." So then we went, look, okay, we do got it. Now I run back to the front. So now I take a whole order. At the end of the order, she says, "Yeah, and this whole order is comp." I said, whoa, wait a minute. What you mean comp? It's comp. Okay, let me go back. Let me go get the manager. So I go get him, and he's like, "How she got to order comp from another store? She got to go to that store." So he goes, he talks to her. They talk for a minute. They have a conversation. He's calling up stores trying to figure out what store she was at. Come to find out she was at no stores that was in the area at all. She don't know what store she was at. So I said, "Well, call the number you called with the lady Jen." She calls the number. We're in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
The Buffalo Wild Wings she called is in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. You said the name of the establishment, you know.
I know. That's how mad I got when I heard Massachusetts. That's how mad I got.
Massachusetts.
I said Massachusetts. So then she was like, "Yeah, well, I don't drive. My husband drive, and he went and got the food at where they messed up the order at." So they like, "Well, where did they mess the order up at?" Because it sure wasn't that one in Massachusetts. So then she keeps going and she says, "No. Then my manager, he asked the question. He was like, "Okay, they messed your order up. Do you have a receipt?" She said, "No." He said, "Did you pay with credit?" or did you pay with cash? She said, I paid cash. I walked off. Sharon, I walked off. That was it. I walked off. I walked off and I was walking to the, I said, she tried to get me. I was like, people, they tried to get me. I said, she's good too. She is good. She tried to get me. She started crying.
Oh, she did the white tears thing.
Come on. Crocodile tears like a mug. She
Oh,
started
wow.
crying, started saying that she got all these kids at her house from a birthday party. She got no way to feed them because her husband's at work and his phone is off until 7 o'clock. I sat there and I thought about it. I said, they're going to be some hungry kids until 7 o'clock. That's what I said to myself.
So you mean to tell me what she really was trying to do was just get some free food because she couldn't afford to pay?
But for 40 kids, for 40 chicken tenders, that's a $200 order.
That's 12 people she was trying to feed. 8 chicken tenders orders and 4 chicken sandwiches. That's 12 people.
I wanted to give her a quarter.
A quarter? Well, how was she a Karen? What'd she do?
No, because she was trying to use her white privilege on.
I see.
Right. She was trying to use her white privilege on.
That's the Karen moniker. Oh, so that's why you named the show Karen Tried to Get Me?
Karen Tried to Get Me.
You crazy, Dennis.
Karen tried to get me.
Oh my God. She tried to get you.
She almost caught me slipping too. I ain't gonna lie to you. She almost caught me slipping.
Well, she made that connection with the children. That's what she did. She got you with the child.
She got me with it. She did a good job. I'm gonna start carrying quarters in my pocket.
Oh, stop. So what did you learn from all this, Dennis? Did you learn anything from all this?
First thing I've learned from it, number one, always double and triple check what you're doing. That's number one thing I always learn. Always double and triple check what you're doing because they will try to get you. Just for some free food, they will try to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And she trying to feed half an army. 40 chicken tenders.
All right. I'm sure that was fun. But see, that's life of a manager in a restaurant. You probably have done this before. I've been a manager in 3 different restaurants, and I'm telling you, it is never a dull moment. And there's pretty much nothing that I have not seen.
I've seen everything, but I think that was the first time I've seen somebody actually try to. And you know what? Because I usually work at a bunch of black establishments. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. So I don't get the white privilege that much. That's what it is.
Yeah, I haven't experienced. Well, no, I have experienced it, but it was way back in the day before we called it that. We just called it, white folks think they should have everything. That's what we used to call it. They think they should just get everything, whatever they say. Sheila and I went to Wilmington this past weekend while you were at the BET Awards. We were at the beach. And we went to an establishment I won't say the name, but it was a great little spot, but I won't say the name. And I didn't see any other people in the restaurant that looked like us. But we were seated, and then there were 2 other tables seated after us. And I kid you not, we were waiting. I know we waited at least 20 minutes before anybody was even coming over to take our order. And it wasn't just us. It was the people around us too. Okay. So I'm not necessarily saying that part was because of our skin color. I'm not going to say that. So finally, Sheila went up to the bar to say, hey, excuse me, are we supposed to come up to the bar to order or something? Because nobody's come to take our order yet. And do you know the bartender said, oh no, somebody's supposed to take your order at the table. She didn't say, oh my goodness, no, let me make sure I get somebody to you, or can I take your order instead? But no, they're supposed to take it at your table. I'll take it and give it to them. Or she didn't try to help. She just answered the question. No, you do it at the table.
You know
So
why?
she came back. It was 5 or 10 more minutes, and still nobody came. Finally, I think that's when, no. Finally, this guy shows up. He looks at us, looks at the other tables, walks right past ours. Ours was the first table. Goes back to the white folks and asks them, sorry to keep you waiting. How can I take your orders? Are you guys ready to order? And the white people at the table pointed to us and said, they were here first. I mean, he hadn't, and then he comes over to our table and says, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know who had sat down first. Well, damn it, that's when you're supposed to stand there and ask. You don't just walk past us and assume. You see what I'm saying? You just walked on past us. You didn't ask to try to find out because you didn't want to. You went to serve the white people first. That's what you did. He didn't want to acknowledge that. So he makes up this, oh, I didn't see who sat down first. See, that's why that explanation didn't matter. See what I'm saying? So anyway, so finally he takes our order. The whole time he's taking our order, he's doing this, Dennis. He's not even looking at us. And I understand you're busy and y'all shorthanded and all that stuff. But this right here, your tip is going down with each second, right? He takes our order. He takes the other people's order. It takes a little while for us to get our food. Food gets there. Food is great. When I say great, I mean great. Tasty, fresh. Everything was delicious. After we finished eating, we waited another 10 or 15 minutes before anybody just came around just to even check to see. And this was after we finished eating. Right. This wasn't during the time we were eating. Somebody came by once to say, is everything okay? And we said, yes. After we finished eating, then it was another 10, 15 minutes before anybody even came around to say anything to anybody around us. Didn't come to our table. They went and checked on the other people. So I sat there. I was just sitting there calm. And I said, Sheila, just calm down. Just calm down. And we just sitting there. I said, I'm giving it 5 more minutes. She said, okay. So in 5 more minutes, I got up this time and went to the bar. And I said to the bartender, excuse me, can you ask our server to bring us the bill? We've been sitting here 20 minutes waiting to pay. And see, what she didn't know, Dennis, and what all my friends and everybody that knows me know, Sharon doesn't wait to pay, right? If you want your money, you better be proactive, because Sharon will walk the hell out and not pay if I have to sit there too long, because I've done it. My whole life, I've done that. I'm not going to wait to pay. I'm patient about everything else. I will be patient about getting the food, all this other stuff. But if I'm there, you know I'm there. You have waited on me. And you take all day for me to pay, that's when I'm done. And I will get the hell up and walk out and not bat an eye. Oh, well. So this was me being good, because if I wasn't with my sister, I probably would have just got up and walked out and dared them to come chase me down. And then when they come chase me down, I would have had my credit card in my hand saying, look, I was waiting to pay, but you took too long. That's exactly what I would have done. But anyway, finally somebody came. Somebody gave me the check. The waitress, the bartender gave me the check. I said, she said, here, I'll print it out and give it to you. Here come the server. He gonna come running up, and he's talking to the bartender. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys have me. He had too many tables. That was the problem. They gave him too many tables, right? And I understand that, but you don't have that whole conversation in front of us. No. You don't. That's one thing. The bartender is not the manager. She didn't assign you. And then number 3, I don't give a darn how many tables. You got to know, you got to bring a damn check. It shouldn't take you 20 minutes to bring a check after I'm finished eating. Just to bring the check. No. So I guess we had some similar experiences here recently. Similar.
I don't understand that at all. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You ain't bring the check. You wasn't there to take the order. The bartender didn't take the order, which I kind of understand why she didn't take the order, because there's a lot of
red tape and processes, and I get that. But the thing was, she didn't have any empathy. It was that she just answered the question. She didn't say, she wasn't alarmed. Like, let me try to see what they doing, what's happening, and get them over there, because these people have been waiting a long time. She spoke to us when we walked in. She said hi, so she knew how long we've been there. She knew how long we've been there.
One thing you gotta do, you gotta have some empathy. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
She showed zero empathy. Just, oh no, you're supposed to, you place your order at the table.
Everywhere I worked at, I had to make sure, to help people out, even if it was like something small, because you never know what some of your servers are going through, what your cooks are going through. You never know. Might not be their thing. So I come in and I help out.
BJ said she going to jail. The bartender, I guess, is going to jail. But look, that was not fun. It wasn't fun. At least the food was good. And the host at the beginning who seated us, he was wonderful. He talked to us about the restaurant, what they offer, and all this stuff. He was very pleasant, very inviting. As soon as we walked up, smiling, hey, blah, blah, blah. He talked to us on the way out. Sheila gave him extra tip in his hand. But she wrote on that receipt, I cannot give my normal 20% for this. This was awful. And she put on there everything that was bad. And I don't blame her.
And she should have left a Yelp review.
Oh, I'm doing that. I'm doing the Yelp and the Google review.
You do a Yelp and a Google review? Oh man, they read the reviews?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I still haven't done it. Thanks for reminding me. I got to do it today.
You do,
because I forgot. But it was my birthday weekend, so I was just trying to enjoy, birthday. Trying to mess up my birthday.
Honestly, that's why I do sit at the bar, because I ain't got to worry about a bunch of customer service. If it's during the day and ain't nobody at the bar, I'd rather sit at the bar. Now, a lot of times when I'm on dates, they don't want to sit at the bar. So
yeah, I'm not trying to sit there.
Man, they don't want to sit at the bar. I'd rather sit at the bar because I know my food coming here, my drinks will be here, and the TV's on. Just in case this date goes bad, I'm gonna be all right.
Let's see, in this restaurant, they had a TV over there where we were sitting, so we were watching TV. But I get the point. I get your point. I will sit at a bar sometime, but usually when it's my first time at a restaurant, I'm not sitting at the bar. I don't know why. It's just my rule. I'm just not sitting at the bar. But anyway, all right, we can move on. I just wanted to add that.
Okay, cool. I know we were talking about the U.S. Supreme Court, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna get to this next story. Yeah, and I'm going to try everything I can to keep myself in check and not be so emotional about this. So work with me, okay, Dennis? Just work with me.
She said you going to jail for walking out on the bill. She ain't going to jail walking out. As you can see, she's been doing it for a while. I've
never been locked up because of it. But like I said, if I had walked out and somebody came running, ma'am, you didn't pay your bill, I would have turned around with my credit card right in my hand, letting them know it was my intention to pay. You took too long. No way I should sit there for 20 minutes waiting to even get the bill. We asked the lady for the bill, and we're still sitting there, and it's 20 minutes later, and that same lady had come by us 2 or 3 times with no bill. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's move on to something more serious, and that's this. Dennis, I know you know about this. The U.S. Supreme Court, the justices reside in a building with the words "equal justice under law" inscribed on the building, right? But they removed the consideration of race from college admissions. And this is a huge deal. And I don't think people really understand what a huge deal this is. So let me read a couple of things to you about this argument and so forth. I don't even know where to start. Okay, so this ruling, because of this ruling, colleges can no longer use race as a means of filtering, I guess, and accepting people into college, saying, hey, if you're this race, you know, you can get in and let's look at your application and blah, 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 blah. So the decision, what's going to happen is it's going to cut down on the pool of minority college graduates. It's for companies who lean on this pool to diversify their ranks. So it's going to be a lot more difficult for these companies to diversify when they can't even tap into the pool that's tracked by the school and all of that. And fewer diverse students are able to have access and graduate from college because of it. That's the snowball effect. It could block career options for younger people of color and all kinds of things. It's just bad. It's just bad. So let me just read this part. When people are speaking about this, Dennis, all people are being told is that universities can no longer use race as part of college admissions, but that's not totally true. All right. So the decision is going to impact admissions policies that historically have benefited Black and Latino students the most. The ruling still allows, let me tell you this BS they put on here. The ruling still allows colleges and universities to consider an applicant's discussion of how race has affected their life as long as it is concretely tied, quote unquote, to a, quote, quality of character or unique ability, end quote, that the applicant can bring to the school. I'm going to repeat that because if you're not paying attention, this could lead you all kind of direct, right? And so let me repeat this. This is what the decision is saying. The decision is going to impact admissions policies that have historically benefited Black and Latino students. The ruling still allows colleges and universities to consider an applicant's discussion of how race has affected their life as long as it is concretely tied to a quality of character or unique ability that the applicant can bring to the school. So when we were talking, I said, well, what does that mean? But what does that mean? If they can't use race as a factor, but then they can say race, talk about race and how it affected their life, but only if it's tied to a quality of character or a unique ability. So what does that look like? So Dennis, so what does that mean? So I'm supposed to say, well, I'm a Black woman, so I can jump higher than the white chicks. So consider me. Is that what I'm supposed to? That's a unique ability. I jump higher.
I hear what you're saying.
Affects my quality. How is race concretely tied to a quality of character? What quality of character is race affecting your life concretely tied to? Name one. They can't. They can't name one. What quality of character does that attach? Does that concretely tie to? What unique ability has
Only
the
thing I was,
effect of race be concretely tied to? What unique ability?
I don't have an answer, but I do.
There is no answer. So let me read further. This is my point. As soon as
Wait,
I
hold on,
read
before you go any further, and okay, and that law that I guess they just passed. How was it passed? Did anybody vote on it? I just want
no,
to know for the viewers out there that don't know
okay.
what's going on.
So there's 9 justices,
Right.
right? It's 6 and 3. I think it's 6 and 3. Don't get me wrong on the numbers. You guys can look that up. But it's a conservative-led court. So more of Republican appointed than Democrat. And because of that, it passed by, a majority margin, either 6-3 or 7-2 or whatever it is, 5-4, whatever the margin is. That's how it passed. And what it is, it's not a law. It's a repealing or a peeling back of the prior law, the affirmative action law. That's what
Okay.
it is. So affirmative action was here and it took this little layer off. So now affirmative action, instead of looking like this, is looking like this. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, and then what's going to happen is they're going to keep going after everything until there is none. That's what they're going to do. This is just one part of it. This is college and university admissions.
Right. And I want to go a little further. Now, Clarence Thomas. Mm-hmm. They don't say anything, right? Clarence Thomas. And who is black? Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's in charge of this department.
No, he's not in charge of it. The Chief Justice is Jawn Roberts, who's a white guy.
Oh,
but he's also a conservative Republican appointed justice, and he's the Chief Justice. Clarence Thomas is one of the senior justices on the Supreme Court who happens to be black and who always, his entire tenure as a judge, written opinions against affirmative action, although he benefited from affirmative action to get his black tail in college in the first place.
That's
he wouldn't even be a justice had it not been for affirmative action to get him to college because he couldn't afford to go.
Right, because that's how he got the Yale.
So I'm like, if hypocrisy was a person, it's him. Okay. So let me move on to this because this is very.
Well, I wanted to break it. I just wanted to break it down.
Oh yeah. Let me move on to this next statement. The Chief Justice, who I just mentioned, Jawn Roberts, in his majority opinion, noted this is his explanation of what I was reading before. This is his so-called explanation of this concretely tied to a quality of character or unique ability crap that he said. He said he noted that applicants could share in essays also how their heritage or culture motivated them to take on a leadership role, for instance. So because in your essay, you talk about how being in my culture motivated me to take on a leadership role, that's going to be considered in college admissions more now. No. He said, in other words, the student must be treated based on his or her experiences as an individual, not on the basis of race. As if you can separate the two. You can't separate the two. He wouldn't understand that because he's white. He's of the majority race. He has no clue that you cannot separate the two. No clue. No clue. So, of course, the dissenting Democratic appointed justices objected, insisting that the ruling would make it practically impossible for colleges and universities to take race into account in admissions. It really takes it away, because saying something about race affecting their life only when it's concretely tied to quality of character or unique ability makes no sense and is non-existent. You can't name one. Just like I asked you that question before and you said you can't name one. They know you can't name one. So this is nothing but smoke and mirrors. So Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is a Democratic appointed liberal justice, said she wrote that the court was merely imposing its preferred college application format of this writing and essays stuff on the country by taking on the role of college administrators to decide what is better for society. And she said, because the court cannot escape the inevitable truth that race matters in students' lives, it announces a false promise to save face and appear attuned to reality, she wrote, but no one is fooled. And I'm not fooled. So that's my point. They say you can't do it based on race. Oh, but you can mention race in your essay talking about how it affected your life, as long as it's tied to your quality of character or some unique talent that you have.
And it's concrete.
Concretely tied. Concretely. That's in quotes because that's what it actually wrote. That's what they actually wrote in the decision, in the opinion. This is crazy. So when you heard about this, what are your thoughts, Dennis? Give your thoughts first while I take a step back and calm down, because I'm really, really mad right now.
Well, before we do that, we got a question. How does this affect the minority scholarships from the schools?
They can't offer it based upon race. They can no longer offer you a scholarship and have as part of the criteria, you have to be a minority race with a 2.5 GPA, who may be a child of a military person, or whatever the criteria is. They can't say race. You can't say you are Native American, you are Black, you are Latino.
Oh, wait a minute. People was wow.
You can't say any of them.
Wait a minute, but people was actually using that. Okay, I know it's wrong. I know what you're about to say.
Go ahead.
I know people that was using that, saying that they were Native American because it gave them, I'll just say, more of a leeway to get into the school.
It gave them more of a minority status because it gave them double minority status, because not only are they African American, they're also Native American. And I get it. And they could be. I am on both sides. I have a Native American person like 3 or 4 generations back on my mom and my dad's side. It is verified and documented. We actually have pictures. So this is not a lie. But I never, ever once put Native American on anything I have. I haven't never done it, never thought about doing it. And it's fine for those who do. I don't have any problem with it. I don't think it's illegal. It's fine. It's being honest. But my point is, if you're both, you can't use either. You cannot, the college or university cannot put in their criteria of these scholarships that they're offering that race is a factor, that you have to be from one of these races. They can no longer say that. So it's going to be open to anyone of any race, including white people, with a 2.5 grade point average or whatever whatever standard, 3.0, whatever standard they use. You can no longer have race.
I'm not going to lie to you, Sharon. This is actually a lot. Because I'm sitting here wondering, how does this roll over on both sides? Like, I understand, you want to go to the Ivy League schools, top schools and everything like that, and they have to have a certain amount of minorities in their school to meet their quota, as they would say. But what about on the other side, for like the HBCUs? As a HBCU, but is it a big thing that now is like, you want to be going to HBCU and you want to flood it with all whites, whatever. So it's no longer just a straight out HBCU,
Well,
which I doubt doesn't happen.
from what I understand, hearing the interview with one of the provosts from an HBCU, he states this is St. Augustine's College here in Raleigh, North Carolina. He said that it won't affect them. Okay. I don't see how it won't, but he said it won't. And I have to read more into that before I can really side one way or the other on that opinion.
Well, I wasn't giving. I was just, I was giving like a broad conversation because I was just thinking about both sides. Like,
oh yeah, I understand. That's what I'm saying. And what he was saying is that for HBCUs, it won't affect them. That was his broad answer. That was his answer. It won't affect them because they're HBCUs. They're for black, historically black colleges anyway. So of course, anything that they're going to offer would be for black students. But then they offer scholarships for anyone. They offer for black, white. You don't even have to be black. They just offer them. Yeah, and it's assumed. Sometimes. Some say black, some don't. It depends on what the scholarship is and who's sponsoring it. Who does the endowment for that scholarship? That's what
now,
it is.
Now, I heard you. Now, we do our pre-show meeting, and you were talking about how this is not just going to affect colleges. This is going to go down to public schools.
Let me explain.
Yes.
Let me explain this, Dennis, and you can just do like this if I get too excited, because this is really a serious thing, and I don't believe people understand. There has been a disconnect between people who are my age and people who are, let's say, 35 and under. I don't think the people who are 35, 38, 30, 40 and under understand just how serious this is and how with the quick stroke of a pen, everything can change in your life just because of this one change. When Roe versus Wade was overturned, people came out, including myself, saying next thing they're going to do is affirmative action. And I said this, I said it to you, I said it to others, but it started with Roe v. Wade. I would go into a long diatribe on how that's connected to Roe, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to focus on the affirmative action. Like I said earlier, affirmative action is like this. What they've done is they've taken away one part of it, which is college admissions. What their goal is, and the Republicans have this in their platform, go look it up. They may have code language around it. They may not say it flat out, but they have on their platform that their goal is to eradicate the Department of Education, period, and to get rid of public schools and privatize education. Why would they want to do that? So that they can make money, number one. And number two, so that only the elite will be educated. They want it that way. Why, Dennis? Because they do want to turn the clock back to where we are in subservient positions only, and they get free labor from us. That's what they want. If people do not believe me, go look it up. You don't have to. Well, go look it up. And you can read the tea leaves by what they're doing. They actually have done speeches about getting rid of the Department of Education and privatizing public schools. This is not Sharon's opinion. This is fact. If you want me to put a link in the chat, I'm not doing that. Go do the research. It's just too much information out there for me to be scrolling through. But it's fact.
That ain't what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say is
well, I'm not finished yet. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Let me
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do believe that is going to happen. I actually see that moving forward and actually happening. And I do see a lot of black people actually out here owning schools. I don't know if they're all the way public or all the way private. I can't sit here and say who's funding these schools. I can't sit and tell you that. But I do see a lot more black people owning schools. And I do see schools ran a little differently, and they don't like going by the Board of Education's, I would have to say, curriculum. They don't like going by their curriculum because a lot of people say that those curriculums that you're going by doesn't help you out in everyday life, which I somewhat agree. But then there is some curriculums out there that did help you get by certain situations and helped you actually grow as a person and made you much smarter or made you, learn how to problem solve in certain situations that was a lot better for you in your life. Now, do I believe that all of them need to go? No, not all of them need to go, but do believe that some of them need to come back? Yeah, some of them do need to come back. You got people out here don't even know how to change a tire, stuff like that. Like some of those things need to come back. Like some of these things you're supposed to learn at home, but you're not gonna learn at home because you got moms and dads out here doing two jobs, working two jobs, barely got time to be with their kids.
Well, that's another story. But you're
That
right.
is another story. That's why I said something.
But as far as the black people owning schools, those are charter schools. And the charter schools do get funding from the government. So there's money getting funneled to charter schools that's not being given to public schools, and that's done intentionally. But that's another conversation for another time. I just wanted to let you know that this whole thing with taking away the college admissions is just a start of what they're doing to dismantle affirmative action all the way around. Next thing they're going to go after is hiring practices and affirmative action. They're going to then trickle it all the way down to public schools. See, in public schools are not supposed to be segregated. It's supposed to be this, that, and the third. It's supposed to have a makeup of whatever, right? That's going to be eradicated. That Brown versus Board of Education, they've been pissed off about that ever since it happened. And they've just been secretly trying to find ways to get it eradicated, slowly but surely, one election at a time. And now it's here. So that's going to be next. Then they're going to go to private sector business. They've already passed a law somewhere that private businesses have the right not to serve people who are transgender. It's going to start right there.
That's when they're going to
Transgender going to go to gay, then it's going to go to minority. And see, while these women are out here talking about, oh, this is great, these white women, affirmative action benefited one group the most out of anybody else, and that's the white woman. So while these white women are sitting with their white husbands celebrating this ruling, they don't understand that it's their granddaughters that are going to be affected by this the most, because they're no longer going to benefit. Because this affirmative action, while it's just saying race right now, don't tell me they're going to stop there. When they eradicate the entire law, because the entire law includes race, gender, religion, all kind of stuff, it's going to be thrown out. And then what are they going to do? Their granddaughters may not be given a leg up to go to school. Is that what they want? No. They had no idea that this was coming, though.
I want to know what they're going to do about them. A lot of them going to be upset because they got the mixed race grandkids. Now they got to rethink things.
Yeah, they're gonna get a rude awakening. That's what I'm saying. While they're sitting up sipping on their mint juleps, celebrating with their husbands right now,
mint juleps.
They're going to find out. What they're doing is they have put people in power that will do things against their own best interests, and they don't even see it yet, because all they're focusing on is stopping us. That's all they want to do. As long as they stop us, they don't care about the rest. They need to stop us. We rise too quick. We got too much.
And all it makes me think is how powerful of the people that we are, that they want to make sure that they stop us in every type of way.
Every type of way.
Every type of way. That's how powerful of people that we are. It's crazy because even we hold ourselves back. We actually just stuck together and did some things, changed the world. But
You know
even when
what,
we try,
Dennis?
even when we try, like it's I still hate when I hear people say this too. When they sit there and they talk bad about Barack Obama, I'm like,
Oh
how
my
you talking
gosh.
bad? How you talk bad about a guy that ain't do nothing? But then you praise a motherfucker who out here doing the worst shit ever, which is fucking Donald Trump.
Listen to this, Dennis. I had the same person, same black person, speak against Barack Obama, but praise Future. Future. You know who I'm talking about, right? You know what situation I'm talking about. Future, who didn't want Russell Wilson to take care of his son that he wasn't taking care of. But they praise it. This same individual person, I hope he's watching, was dogging Barack Obama and praising Future and put down Russell Wilson and called him a simp and a sap and all this. Praising Future with all these random kids all over the place.
Oh, you got to tell me who that is.
I ain't gonna tell you. No, you don't know him. I can tell you. You don't know him.
I'm about to say after the show, you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, you don't know him, so I can tell you. But seriously, this is crazy. Yeah,
I ain't got nothing against.
But we're gonna have to do another show though, Dennis. We're gonna have to do a show where we actually talk about the wish that we would stick together. We need to talk about that, because what we as black people don't want to talk about is we don't want to talk about us killing each other, and we don't want to talk about how we keep each other down and the whole crabs in a bucket syndrome. We don't want to talk about that. So since we're going to do a show and we're going to lambast this ruling and how it's racism and white people doing whatever, making decisions about us, we need to do one about us to us. And I don't have any problem doing it. We can talk about it. All I'm going to say, you can say what you want about Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby was right. And I say that all along.
But I see, this is my thing on it. If I appreciate somebody on like their music, that's just what I appreciate is their music. I can't go on what they do in their regular life. I can't go on none of that. It's kind of crazy. We sit here, we'll talk about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll put out all these things and stuff out about them. Then next thing you know, they come out with a Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix, and it's the highest rated series on there.
Exactly.
And he ate people. Like, seriously? And we watching this bullshit?
Yeah.
Y'all decided to make this into a motherfucking documentary and a movie? Oh, fuck.
Made money off of it.
Made money off of it. Yes. Made money off of him eating people.
Yes. And what color were those people that he killed and ate? I'm just asking the question. What color were most or all of them were of one race? What race was that?
Listen, I didn't watch the documentary.
I didn't watch it either. I didn't watch it. I just go from reading the articles and seeing the pictures.
Yeah, I'm looking
at the picture like, what? Did you see this? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's what it is. That's why I said some things I just don't. I can't just go full. Oh no, I don't. I just appreciate their music. I appreciate their music. I appreciate the TV show that he came out. I appreciate his comedy. I can't go on what he did.
He was a master. Bill Cosby was a master of comedy. His stand-up routine, Fatherhood, ranks in my top 10 comedy routines I've seen all time in my entire life. You could put that on right now and I would still laugh. Cosby Show, one of the greatest series of shows ever created.
Ever. And you know what? You know what I liked about the Cosby Show so much? Everybody was a star. That's what I liked about the Cosby Show so much. Everybody, there was no, oh man, you ain't get enough TV time on that show for you to actually be good. No, you're gonna get your shine on here and make the best out of your opportunity. Stars. I mean, Adam Sandler was on that show. You got Cole Brown, who was Cockroach. These are Theo's friends. who was Cosby's son. Like this.
I know. I'm just saying. And then Cosby Show, different world.
Different world.
Producing that too. I mean, all the money that he gave to HBCUs, and then they want to sit up there and try to take his name off buildings, but they didn't get that damn money back, though, did they?
No, they ain't gonna get that money back.
They ain't getting money back to Camille. But they're gonna take his name off. Okay, all right.
I'm just telling you.
So why are you taking his name off? Can we take some more of these Confederate generals' names off of stuff? Can we do that? Can we knock them statues down? Oh, but you can still take Bill Cosby's name off buildings, though. Okay. You can do that, but you don't want to. You want to leave the South. You know, that's our heritage. Yeah. Okay.
Terrible. That's what I'm gonna say. Terrible.
So I understand what you're saying about all of that. It's just anyway. We still need to have a show where we talk to about us and how we're doing wrong with each other. We do, because there are people out here who claim that we would never, not we as in me and you, but we as a larger we would never do shows and talk about and have these conversations about that subject. So let's have it.
Well,
and I think we should call it, and what about Chicago? That's what we need to have. We need to call it, because every social media group, new network news page on Facebook where they post something and the people come and put comments in there, they always bring up Chicago. What about Chicago? Y'all murdering each other in Chicago. You don't get upset about that. You only care when a cop kills you. Okay. So let's have a show about Chicago and other places.
But it wasn't just. See, that's why I understand why people say that. It wasn't just happening like that in Chicago. It was happening like that.
I know, but they use that as an example.
Right, like these
You're not
murders,
upset about all these murders of Black people by Black people in Chicago. You're not upset,
right? Because that's the newest.
That. Okay.
Because that's the I ain't gonna say the newest, but that's the strongest one right now. But at one time, you used to say the same thing about the West Coast in LA. You say the same thing about New Orleans. You say the same thing about Florida.
I know it.
Right. How about why we don't talk about the states that Black people are praised?
My point
is no. I know your point. I'm just talking about them. Why we don't talk about the states that Black people are actually praised at? Why we don't talk about Georgia and Atlanta? It's nothing but love in Atlanta when you go there from Black people. I love going to Atlanta. It's nothing but love from Atlanta for Black people. They don't talk about that. They want to talk about the negative. All they do is prey on the negative.
They do that for a reason. It's done on purpose, Dennis. They do that because they don't want to acknowledge the racism. How do you not acknowledge racism? You pretend like it doesn't exist and that it's not a real problem. That's the reason why they're taking all this stuff out of school, because they don't want their kids and grandkids to know the truth about what they did and what their great-grandparents did. They don't want them to know, right? They don't want them to know this truth. And the best way, okay, I'm gonna say it to you this basic. Let's talk about cheating for just one quick second. And instead of saying the man cheated, I'm gonna say the woman, okay? Because I don't want BJ to come in here with the nonsense about why you picking on men. So I'm gonna say the wife cheats. The best thing that she can do when her husband comes home and accuses her of cheating, saying that somebody saw her cheating, the best thing for her to say is what? It wasn't me. That's all you gotta do. Deny. I'm just kidding, BJ. Just calm down. Don't take it seriously. I'm just kidding. I forgot I can't kid with him because he thinks I mean it for real. I'll use somebody else next time. But seriously though, the best thing that you could do is just say, it wasn't me. That's what they do. Oh, it wasn't us. We didn't do that. And they have you believing that you making shit up. When know You know when somebody is being racist with you as a black person. You know when it's racist. But they want you to prove it. They want you to have proof. We don't always have proof, but we know. You don't always know when somebody's cheating on you because you don't have proof. You know, though, you don't have the proof, but you know. You just know.
Got that feeling, that intuition. But you're right, and they do make you seem crazy because you be like,
yeah. Oh, it
nah.
wasn't. That wasn't about race. That was okay. I will never forget. Dominique Wilkins goes to a restaurant, and he has on Adidas or something, and they put him out saying that he can't. That's against dress code. When somebody that was sitting just in from the door, you can see on camera, has the same type of clothes on that he had on, and they told him he couldn't come in because he's this big black man. Well, they didn't say because you're black you can't come in. They didn't say that. They're not going to admit that. But they let people come in after him even that had the same type of gear on. Before him, after him. The only difference is they were white and he's black. That was the only difference. So what are we supposed to think? What else could it be? Because he's tall? Because he was tall?
And they had no idea. They had no idea that was him either.
No, they had no idea. Somebody had to tell them it was Dominique. Oh, well, it's too late now. I mean, it's just ridiculous how they do this. And then they want us, they feed it to us and want us to accept it as true. Like, no, y'all just making this up. You just being too sensitive. Why you always making everything about race? Why are you, as in us, the black people, why are we making everything about race? No, we ain't doing that. We're not doing it. We're not making everything about race. But why do we say the things we do about race? Because of stuff like this Supreme Court decision right here. Trying to take everything back.
And you think you slick, but we know your little slide racism too. All right. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, we do. We do know it.
We know when you're doing your slide racism stuff. But then when we do it and we go out there and we call y'all Karens, oh, we racist because we called you a Karen. No, it's what you're doing that made you a Karen. We ain't just wake up and just say you're a Karen. That's what you're doing.
It's what you're doing.
Your actions made you a Karen.
All right. Well.
All right, let's get to a song.
That's how I feel. I'm sorry if there's people out there who are listening to me today that are offended. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Elise said that whole we don't see color BS. Yeah. You know, they think that if they say that to a black person, that that's a great thing. We don't see color. No, I want you to see my color. What I want you to not let it do is have preconceived notions or bother you or make you feel insecure to be around me or nervous. That's what I want. I want you to see my color. I am a black woman. But what I don't want you to do is to see me sitting there and walk past me and go take the order of the white table, assuming that they were next without asking. That's what I don't want you to do. And I've had that happen to me, I don't know how many times. And luckily, I've had good white people standing there saying, she was here first. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what?
Terrible. It's the first of the month. Anyway, let's try to get to a nice smiling side of this picture. Let's talk about this NBA free agency. We're not gonna hit it hard, but the NBA free agency, the draft, all that happened within these last 2 weeks. And we're gonna talk about this more on Tuesday. But I want to know just one of the signings that happened in this NBA free agency that you actually like.
that I liked. I liked the Lakers getting well, before I get to my Lakers, I told you that Golden State was gonna bring Draymond back.
You
I
did tell
told
me
you.
that, and they
And
brought
I
him back.
also told you that Dallas was gonna keep Kyrie Irving.
You did tell me that too.
I,
Surprisingly,
I'm like, and I also said that Miami was gonna keep Kevin Love. I'm like, I don't understand why everybody thought that Miami was gonna get rid of Kevin Love. They were pleased with Kevin's performance.
oh
I
yeah,
don't
that
even
was
understand why people think that. And Golden State made it clear who they picked when they got rid of Poole. I mean, it's a no-brainer. He's not going anywhere. Steve Kerr said it best. We're not a championship team without Draymond. I think Steve Kerr wants to win some more championships. I don't think 4 is enough for him. I think that he wants to win more.
maybe. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I don't want to say nothing, but
Yeah,
when,
I don't think he's done. I
man,
don't think he's done. I don't think the Golden State Warriors are done. But anyway, so let me just get that part out of the way. But the signing that I'm most excited about is, I guess, is getting the fact that we got Cam Reddish and that we re-signed what's Rui, I think that's his name, Rui and Reeves. We re-signed both of them. Those were the two players I was most concerned about. But like I told our great friends over at Stay Tuned, wake me up when we get rid of LeBron. I will be the happiest sports fan on earth if they were to announce that he's decided to move on from the Lakers. I cannot wait for that day. I just cannot wait. Love LeBron. I just don't want him on my team. I don't.
I might end up. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. That'll piss you off.
What? End up what, on the Kings or something?
No, the
What?
LeBron to get traded to the Sixers for James Harden. James
Uh,
Harden is now a Laker.
if I had to pick between LeBron James and James Harden, I would pick LeBron James. That's for sure. Because I definitely don't want no James Harden in a Lakers uniform. Hell to the no. Mm-mm.
Oh
No,
man,
no, BJ. It's not because he's black. It's because he's LeBron. Because
no,
he's LeBron.
she never liked LeBron or the
No, I
Bron
do
sexual
like
assault.
LeBron. I don't like what he does to teams. That's what I don't like what he does to other players. I don't like that. I like LeBron, the player. I just don't like the effect that he has on teams after he leaves. I don't like it. I don't like what happens. It's like he comes and it's a whole problem the entire time they win. He's there. They may win a chip, but it's still at what cost? And it's not worth it to me, not for the organization. I am a Lakers fan. I am a fan of the team. I don't care who passes through those doors. I love the Lakers. And I just feel like he's been more problem than he has been benefit for the team, just like I predicted. But enough about me. What signing were you best happy about, Dennis?
I'll be honest. I like the trade CP3 for um Jordan Poole. I
Why
want
do you
Jordan
like that
Poole.
trade so much?
I want Jordan Poole to go get his shine. It just seemed like he was tired of being the cousin to the stepbrothers. It's time for him to get his shine. It's time for it to be a pool party.
Okay, but let's look at the other part of that. You like CP3 on the Warriors?
I didn't see that part.
Well, I'm
I like
asking.
CP3. I like CP3, but I just don't see where him and the Warriors are a great fit. Like that to me, when you make a trade like that, it's like, oh no, this is a better fit for us to get CP3. And I don't see where it's better or where that moves the needle for them to beat for them to beat the Lakers or for them to beat um the Denver Nuggets.
I don't either.
I don't see where that moves that needle.
It's like wherever he shows up, I know they're not getting to the promised land. I don't care what team he's on, they're not getting there. I don't care who you put around them. They're not going.
But see, they gave up a first round pick and Jordan Poole for Chris Paul, and I'm like, huh? Washington won that trade.
And see, Jordan Poole is not garbage. He's just emotional.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to say if you start to rough him up, he ain't gonna be the same guy. But I want to see how he does with the number one defender on him now, and how he plays better. I can see a spark from him, to average about 22 points a game.
What number one defender? What you talking about?
When he now has the number one, now he's the man over there, so the number one defender will be guarding him.
Oh,
whoever the best defender on the other team.
He went to Washington, right?
Yeah. Whoever the best defender on the other team will be guarding. Kyle Kuzma's over there, but who's ever the best defender on the other team will be guarding Jordan Poole.
Okay. If you say so.
Just saying.
That'd be Marcus Smart then, huh?
Yeah, that'd be Marcus Smart.
On the Grizzlies, which I think is crazy. Well,
I actually like Marcus Smart on the Grizzlies. I think that's a good move. Because they just lost Dylan Brooks. I think that's a good move.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with Marcus Smart on the Grizzlies. I misspoke. I meant I don't like Derrick Rose on the Grizzlies. I don't like that.
Yeah, he's there. They pay him the mentor.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want him there for that. I want him to take his talent somewhere else. I don't feel like Memphis deserves him. That's just how I feel. And I don't have any hate for me. I like Memphis. I've always liked Memphis as a team. All right.
Big Memphis.
No, it's not big. It's Memphis. I have always liked Memphis as a team. When my man Zach Randolph used to play there, I was all over it. Zach. That's my boo. Spartan for life. That's my boo. And then what's his name was there? Gasol, was it Mark Gasol? And somebody else used to play there. I liked. I can't remember. So anyway, I like Memphis, but I don't feel like they, as currently constructed and currently led, I don't think that they deserve Derrick Rose. I think Derrick should have stayed as Nick or went to the Bulls. That's it.
Okay.
It's just me. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it on Talk Your Ish Tuesday. Can't wait for that conversation. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, so definitely will be fun. Can't wait for it to happen. That being said, that's about all I have for today. I think my final words for the day is, though, stop trying to get over on people. Obviously, you're not who you say you are. Okay? You've been figured out in real life. Your Instagram life don't add up to your real life. Just want to let you know that. Mm-hmm. We know you're a pro.
Mm-hmm.
But God gonna bless you.
I agree.
That's how I feel. You got any last words?
Oh, I do. So I got some quotes for everybody. I'm gonna leave you with these. Of course, everybody's heard this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That has never been more true than right now. So just think about it. Also from Malcolm X, you cannot separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. That's number 2. This last quote is from Albert Einstein, believed to be one of the most brilliant men ever on the planet. And his quote is, racism is a disease of white people. He said it, I didn't. I just want y'all to understand that. And it's not up to us as Black people to keep pointing this out to white people. It's up to y'all white people You white people who are not racist. You white people who are not racist, it's up to you to check your brethren. It's up to you. Because when we check them, then we're just being sensitive and making it about race. But if you check them, maybe they'll get it. So that's my final thought.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. And
great day.
Great day. That's